Today's the last day of the strata year for Liberty on Logan Lee, so I just thought I'd take the time to say all the best to those in the future and all of the lot owners. My name's John Saunders. I've been the secretary, and I've played a bit of a role along with the other committee members in getting a few things done over the last few years. Very proud of the group that we've had. We ended up just being 4 of us, which meant that there was at times quite a lot of workload to try and get some of these larger projects organised. And these include, of course, the automatic gates, which after some teething problems have finally appear to be working very well, and of course the painting being the main ones, but not the only ones. You know, there's countless others, including roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, plumbing repairs on all of the roofs, getting rid of an unruly and unfortunate pack of pigeons that decided to lodge into a group of the units further down. So anyway, it's been a big effort. Some of these larger ones I'm fairly proud to have been part of. I actually put the automatic gates and the painting up as motions over 2 years ago, before I was even a committee member, and then I met our chairman Vivek when we both happened to, by coincidence, be out the front picking up a bit of rubbish, and we both sort of started chatting about the committee and deciding, nothing appears to have been done. The painting clearly hasn't been touched for 10 years, so why don't we look at how we can try and get a few things organised. So with the help of Vivek and also the other committee members, I'm proud of the job that we've done, and I'm very happy to have been able to work with these other guys who have all done their part. Between the 4 of us, we've had our ups and downs and difficult times, but we've got on pretty well considering, and had our regular meetings to try and get stuff organised. Some things that are worth mentioning that haven't gone well was some particular exaggerated and ridiculous complaints from certain people over and over and over. Fortunately, they seem to have stopped recently, but you sort of don't understand when committee members are spending 10 or 15 hours of their time voluntarily to try and move a complex forward. You really just don't need people harassing and bullying and intimidating and complaining just for the sake of complaining, and that's clearly what was happening. This included, I might add, anonymous Facebook posts directed at me. But anyway, these things will go on. I've got broad shoulders. If things became too difficult, well then I would take the necessary action to respond to that, and that action would have to be legal action, unfortunately, because even currently it's clear that malicious rumours have been spread, and I will not stand for it. I will not accept it. And it's not acceptable, particularly, yes, it does make one angry, especially when you've devoted so much of your time to try and help the complex as a whole. Let me just cover a couple of the accusations that are complete bullshit, excuse my French, that have been levelled. One that I heard through a second-hand source is that somehow I personally got favourable treatment with painting at my place. Well, if that's the case, then anyone is welcome to come and show me where, because it's a complete lie. It has not happened. There is no additional painting at mine. Another one was that I got favourable treatment to have a particular tree removed. Again, it's a complete lie. I actually do all of my own trimming work on my trees. I have my own mulcher, as a matter of fact. And this one particular tree was due to an oversight. All of the decisions that were made about trees, in fact, were 100% the decision of the arborist who we engaged to look at that particular issue. So no problem, that's fine. Moving along, there was another one, and this came up in a motion on at the AGM. Totally, again, a deluded motion, claiming that that the body corporate had to pay for a broken pipe because the contractor didn't have insurance. Totally incorrect. It was not the contractor's fault. The pipe that was installed was not buried to the correct depth, and as the plumbers confirmed, who ended up repairing the whole mess, it should not have even been laid in the area where it was. It was taken on this circuitous route around a fence post when it should have been originally buried deeper and in a straight route. That was clear. It was obvious at the time. We actually discussed this matter with the contractor, and he said, well, it's not buried. We're entitled to dig down to 600 millimetres if you want to be precise about it. And that pipe was not at 600 millimetres. It clearly wasn't. They knew it wasn't. We knew it wasn't. But somehow other people who apparently know everything believe that it was somehow his fault and that we should have sued him for money. Well, I'm sorry, but you're totally incorrect. Now, another issue that has apparently been raised is the fact that the amount of money that was paid to the painter was a few $1,000s in addition to the amount that he quoted. Well, that did occur, and the reason that occurred is because his initial quote didn't include painting of the posts out the front of everyone's unit. Now, after he painted a few units, mine not being the first unit because I wouldn't fall into that trap, but after he painted a few units, people complained that the posts out the front had not been painted. So the committee reached an agreement that he would be paid a few extra $100, I think it was $300 per unit, in addition to cover painting of those posts where it was needed or any other extra work that was needed. Now, keep in mind here, which a lot of these people who apparently now know everything are forgetting, is that this guy's quote was hundreds of thousands of dollars below the highest quote that we got and close to $100,000 below the next reasonable highest quote. There was another low quote, but that guy did not have registration with the builders organisation, so we didn't believe that he was the most suitable candidate in that situation. And those the suitable quotations were all put up in that AGM and were voted on. So at the time, perhaps because these were in addition to the work, they were outside of the original scope that he quoted on. So they wouldn't have shown up in the original paperwork. If someone wants to make a big deal out of it, fine, go for your life, knock yourself out. Who cares? I don't care. Just go and talk to, the Queensland government, the police, or whoever you want to. I really don't care. But what I will say is, when all of the committee have been working so hard, it's very difficult. It's demoralising to get people just to continually complain. One particular individual who has lost her temper on numerous occasions, and somehow we're supposed to suck it up. Well, what's the result of that? At this AGM, you've lost 3 committee members. So have a think about it, people. You know, you've got people trying to do a good job who have done the best that they can, and I think we've done pretty well. We've got the whole units painted that were ignored for 10 years. We've got the automatic gates put in, which are now working, seem to be working completely well. But yeah, there have been a few issues. You know, the company who supplies the gate motors and machinery and electronics, they're an international company. So there's sort of some other little complaints about how we got the cheapest rate and cheapest pricing, and we didn't get the most expensive, who wouldn't have been better. And people say, well, you get what you pay for. Well, no, that's not always true. Sometimes you get ripped off by paying too much. And with the painting and with the gates, we were determined that the body corporate would not go into debt, and we made sure that that happened. But not only that, we also insisted on quality. And for example, a lot of the more expensive quotes did not include powder-coated aluminium for our front sliding gates. They just included a prefabricated, bolt-together, galvanised steel contraption, which would have been heavier and would have been much uglier and had the look of, quasi-industrial area. So I certainly was not in favour of that. Anyway, I think it looks good. I think we've done well. Anyone's got any complaints, just keep in mind, if you're going to complain, there's a new committee here. Good luck to them. I hope they do a fantastic job and have a wonderful time. I think our committee has done a lot of the heavy lifting now to get the complex into great shape. But not only have we got it into great shape, we've added value to every single unit there by now having a securely, automatically gated community. But oh no, from these individuals, all you'll hear is complaints. Complaint, complaint, complaint. Nothing is ever good enough. Well, if that's how you want to live your life, you go ahead and live your life like that. That's not how I intend to. So anyway, moving along. Gates have been done, painting's been done, all under budget. We didn't go in the red. We kept as much money as we could. We were in favour that down the track that strata fees would be reduced, but keep in mind something that a lot of people don't realise is that the body corporate, under the particular set of rules and guidelines that we're under, is responsible for maintaining the roofing and the guttering. So there will be extra costs. In some other complexes, apparently the fees aren't as high, but they don't. Some of them may not look after as much of the area. Anyway, that's not for me to argue. I certainly won't be living in the complex for an extended period of time. I've made some wonderful friends there. Apparently, I've made a few enemies. That's unfortunate. It's not what I've looked forward to, but I'm not going to just stay silent and say nothing. We've done our best. I believe we've done a very good job, and I've certainly made lots of friends there, and I appreciate that. So to all of you guys and to the new committee, whether I see eye to eye with you on issues or not, I wish you all the best for the future. All right, take it easy. Bye.